Hey, what's going on, everyone? I'm B. Avery, creator of Just My Opinion,
And I'm Malcolm Toussaint.
and we're here with you tonight for our spoiler-filled opinion of The Legend of Hercules. And if you just heard what I said, yes, I did say spoilers. So, you know the rules. If you don't want to be spoiled, if you have not seen the movie, I suggest you turn the video off now. If you're on YouTube, which I'm sure you are, you can just add it to that watch later list and come back and check us out once you've seen the video, because we're going to talk in and out, left and right, as if you've seen the movie, and you can keep watching if you don't care about being spoiled. So you have been warned. So here we are, Legend of Hercules. And so it was directed by Rennie Harlan. He did pretty good films like Cliffhanger. I haven't seen The Nightmare on Elm Street 4, Dream Catchers, or Dream House. He did Deep Blue Sea that came out in '99. I remember that one. Some people don't like that one, but I like that one with LL Cool J. What does he do? A Long Kiss Goodnight with
Morgan Freeman.
With Morgan Freeman. Die Hard 2 with Bruce Willis, which is possibly one of the weaker ones in the whole Die Hard franchise. I think part one or four is the best.
Part one, and I like A Vengeance, but
Yeah, and then 3. I think 5 was the worst one.
yeah.
So he has some good films under his belt, and he wanted to do The Legend of Hercules in January. Which, if you don't know, January is pretty much the graveyard for movie releases. But anyway, I just want to ask you, as far as this Legend of Hercules, my expectations actually were extremely low. There's another movie coming out later this year, I believe in June, with Hercules. I don't know if that's the official title, with Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, as a toddler character, directed by Brett Ratner. And usually when two movies are released, within months, about the same exact premise, one is extremely good, and one is extremely bad. So which one is this? You'll find out in a few seconds. But my expectations were extremely low. I knew Kellen Lutz, one of the stars from the Twilight Saga, was starring in this role, and he hasn't done much since then. So, I want to see what he can do, give him a try, and I'll tell you how I felt in that just a little bit. But how were your expectations walking in?
Pretty much the same. Pretty low. I'm not really a big fan of these type of films. I didn't really know too many of the actors involved. I didn't know what studio was involved, so I wasn't too excited about it. I just saw a couple of posters and a couple of commercials here and there, but
Right. I wasn't dying to see it. I mean, I knew I'd get around to it. Scott Adkins, he was in it. I'm a fan of his work. He's a B-list actor. He can check out a lot of his stuff on Netflix. He does a lot of movies with Michael Jai White, and Undisputed 2 and 3, Ninja 1 and 2. That just came out like 2 or 3 weeks ago on Netflix. And, I like that one. But so just, we both had low expectations. And I think it's safe to say that, it met my expectations. They were low. And I just want to go ahead and give my general impression of the movie first. Oh, and if you don't know, we just literally got back from the theater. We came in, I went to the bathroom, came and sat down, we turned the camera on. So I don't know how he feels. He doesn't know how I feel. And I'm just going to tell you, man, I thought the movie was pretty bad, pretty horrible. I think the only part I was into it like the first 10 seconds. It opened with a charge into some castle or kingdom. It was a lot of CG, a lot of 3D, which made me blink. I'm thinking that the arrows are gonna hit me in the face. Other than that, I thought the movie was I hate to say, but I thought it was a train wreck, pretty much. What about you?
I actually thought it was fair. I didn't think it was a train wreck at all. As far as the opening, I liked it. That was one of the better uses of 3D that I've seen in a while.
Right, I'll give you that.
The whole opening sequence was, pretty good. You thought it was going to be pretty epic. The movie didn't turn out to be epic, but the first opening sequence, I really liked that. But it just wasn't what I was expecting from a Hercules movie.
Yeah, it was not at all, to say the least. I don't want to I hate to just rip it apart. I want to find a lot of good things to say, And so I guess we can just start there. Let's go with the likes and what we did like.
Yeah, like I said, I like the way they utilized 3D. And at the very beginning, the opening sequence was great, and it just worked better than a lot of other action films I see with 3D.
That's true. I did think the 3D and some parts were good, especially the beginning, as I said about 3 times. I think my favorite line in the movie, and it was just, and to me at least, it was kind of hard to follow. I was extremely bored. His wife or lover, I don't even know her name. I didn't even care that much, and I'm gonna be honest with you. And I'm not even ashamed. But what was Hercules' brother's name? I forgot.
I forgot too.
Yeah,
and I didn't like the fact. Are we talking about the dislikes now?
No, I'm still gonna talk about the likes. But my favorite line in the movie, where he was trying to consummate the marriage, and she just went up to him and was like, "Okay, look, bro. You're gonna take my hand against my will. I'm just gonna let you know I don't love you. I love somebody else. If you want to kill him, I'm gonna love him even more. If you want to make a memory of him, you're just nothing. So hey, if you want to take me against my will and take my body, you can do that, but you won't have my love or anything like that." That was my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah.
I laughed, but other than that, I did not find too much that I liked, and so I guess we can. Or unless you,
no, that
you
was
liked
you're
anything else.
right though. That was the best dialogue in the whole
The
film.
whole
It was
movie.
like wow, that
Yeah,
was really heartfelt. That was the best acting sequence of the whole
Yes.
film too. It was like wow, like she really studied that monologue.
Right. Yeah.
He got that part down.
Yeah.
And I'm glad somebody worked with on that part.
And we didn't sit together. It was so crowded. The person to my left and my right, we was all chuckling like, man, she let him have it. Like,
Yeah, she
dude,
really did.
this is not your ass. This belongs to somebody else. And so that was the best part, to me, at least in my opinion. But some I guess we can get to the whole dislikes. And for me, it was pretty much the whole movie. The acting I found was atrocious, horrendous, terrible. Every bad word I could possibly come up with, blended into one.
I describe it as Saturday morning kung flu flick ish.
Right. That's
I mean, that's just it was very basic. They just were very, we're gonna change our, make our voices deeper and say something intensely, but
right.
it wasn't anything. It was just all on the nose, nothing really deep, no subtext, just.
Not at all. I didn't care about the characters at all. We did not get to know them. And you could say, well, it's the legend. It's a Hercules movie. I mean, this story's been told 1,000 times. I mean, how much do you need to know? But I don't want to look at it like that. I mean, there are people that have never, heard the legend of Zeus or Hercules, or know about Greek gods. I wanted a full story, just from Rennie Harlin's take. And I didn't get that at all. I didn't care about the characters. We didn't get to know them. About what something else I didn't like. I thought the CGI was trash. That lion that he fought in the beginning, that was horrible CGI. That was absolutely horrible. That didn't look real at all. I mean, how much was the budget? $70 million?
$70 million.
It looked like it was $70. What do you agree, disagree?
I mean, it was bad, but I've seen worse.
I have seen worse.
I mean, it did look very straight to Netflix.
I don't even know if I want to say I've seen worse. I mean, this movie here, I probably would have enjoyed it more, like you said, if I just woke up Saturday morning and I didn't have nothing to do and I just wanted to watch something on Netflix. But for this to be a big budget or semi-budget film, it did not deliver in the least bit. I mean, all the high points that you saw in the trailers were trash. I could not wait until I saw him hold up his sword and get the lightning from Zeus and he fling it around. That was horrible.
I thought that was going to be like a staple of the movie. I mean, this is a son of Zeus.
Right.
I was waiting for that the entire movie, and it just dragged on and on.
It was extremely disappointing. There another scene in the trailers that I did look forward to is when they had him killing Lust chained up, and he called on the power of his father Zeus, and he pulled the chains down and broke the stones. That was pretty cool for a second. I like the motivation behind it. Oh, just want to jump real quick back to the likes again. What was I don't remember the old guy with the beard that had the robe. He was just like, hey, Hercules, don't worry. My life is not wasted. I lived a full life. I got to serve, one of the sons from the Greek god. So, it's all good. Then he died. And that's how Hercules got his motivation to break the stones and finally call upon Zeus to get his power. So that was cool. But when he actually broke the chains down, with the boulders and started swinging around, it looked cheap. It looked like somebody designed that with their cell phone instead of, a high budget, production. A lot of super duper slow-mo that I found was completely unnecessary. He tried to bite off Zack Snyder style of slow-mo from 300. I mean, it was just a cheap version of 300 to me.
Yeah, that's what I expected too, and that's why I wasn't as disappointed as you might have been. Like, I expected it to be pretty brain dead. It wasn't any great dialogue.
Not at all.
The action scenes were okay. Some nice looking 3D slow-mo in there.
I don't even think the action scenes were good. When you see movies like
you know what it was? It was lacking blood. Like, you were looking at it, and you were so disappointed.
Yes. That's one thing I did not look up. Like, what was the rating? It had to be PG-13.
It had to be PG-13.
It was a PG. It had to be PG-13. It was so, like, going back to when he was swinging the boulders around. I mean, their bodies should have exploded. I mean, it should have been blood everywhere. The boulders, well, I don't have anything to point to right now, but they were big. They were this big right here, flinging them around. I mean, imagine if I took a yo-yo and I let it go and I just swung it around like this. Okay, that's what he was doing with chains this thick with boulders big as coffee tables, knocking people up in the air, and there was no blood. You're stabbing people in the back, in the face, cutting off their legs all throughout the movie. Arrows going here, and there was no blood. It was just boring and weak. And when you see other epic great movies like Troy, 300, or whatever else Greek god movies, like this, when they have all the extras in the costume and fighting, I actually feel like those people are actual warriors, or they train for a good amount of time, weeks or months on end, to get all the mechanics and mannerisms down. It looked like these people, it looked like they just got a bunch of extras off the street. Like, hey guys, we got to make this movie. I got $50 real quick. Come on, we got your suits over here. Just do this, swing the sword. I mean, it seemed like a stage dress rehearsal, especially that cave fight. I mean, that was in the beginning. That was it was just trash. It was trash. I wasn't into it at all.
It was, especially when they went into the cave and they came out and everybody was dead. You're like, what just happened,
bro? Yeah,
like, why? They just went into a cave. They came out and all the soldiers were dead. Like, they didn't hear anything. Then they went on the other side and there was people waiting on them there. Like, it didn't really make too much sense.
And then the battle strategies that they came up with. I mean, my goodness, it seemed like a 5-year-old organized that. I mean. It was so many opportunities for people to die, but they just didn't take advantage of it. It was just the whole thing was a slop fest.
Even the king, like, it was so many chances for anybody to kill Hercules. It seemed like
exactly.
It was like, well, I guess. But you didn't really see like Zeus's power. Exactly. He's Zeus's son. He just seemed invincible. Like, why is this guy? Why is nobody killing this guy? Trying to really
exactly. Hard. Why did they wait 20 years? Before revealing that he is the son of Zeus and he has all these powers. I mean, he could have done a bunch of amazing feats. We didn't get to see Hercules grow up. He was born, and then they jumped 20 years later. I kind of wanted to see a little bit in his childhood.
You didn't know why he liked this girl so much.
He didn't even question. He knew he was stronger than everybody else. He never questioned that. To his mother. His mother looked like it could have been his girlfriend. She looked younger
20 years later. She looked younger
than he did. I mean, that was incestuous or something. We didn't get to meet Zeus. I would have loved to see at least one conversation.
Hear a voice or something?
Yeah, something like, you're my son, just call on me and I will be there. But father, it was none of that. None of that. I mean, he didn't do anything. He just moved some clouds around, shot a lightning bolt down, and gave him some strength at one point to knock some boulders down.
What about his messenger with the chick looked like she was from The Exorcist?
Yes, she did.
That was horrible.
We don't know why his brother was jealous of Hercules. I mean, I felt like,
and it was so whack the way they did it. They made him look weak and scrawny. He had a horrible haircut. It's like, why would they make it so obvious?
It was. Oh shit. Anyway, you're right though. You're right. I mean, we don't know why you had so much animosity towards your brother. I mean, we didn't see them in our childhood. We didn't see parents. You know, it would have been different if his parents, the king, play favorites, and he wasn't even the rightful son. So what do you have to be? What are you jealous of? I mean, I don't understand what the problem was. Do you at least?
Yeah, it was a couple of hoes like that as far as with the king. A couple of
hoes.
With the king, like he knew it was a man when Zeus got his wife pregnant. He's looking for a man who was in the bed with his wife, but he can't find him. And all of a sudden, she ends up pregnant with the baby. Like, you should know that might not be your baby.
Right. But
why is it a secret 20 years later? Like after the fact, it doesn't.
Since
he has blonde hair and blue eyes.
Right.
Nobody else does.
No, you have black hair, black brunette. So does your wife.
Yes, and the son as well. Other son.
They don't. It was just a clusterfuck shitty mess. I mean, I felt that the whole movie was rushed. Every scene, I felt like it was going. I felt like the start of every scene was the middle of a scene. It was I don't even think this movie made 90 minutes. It may have been like 85. I mean, you have a Legend of Hercules movie that's 90 minutes. That's just disrespectful. And
what's crazy is it got so boring at a certain point in there. You thought it was longer. I was like, damn, how long is this movie?
I mean, I was waiting for it to be over. I mean, I really was. I mean, scene after scene after scene after scene, it was boring. I mean, the amount of slow-mo that they used was ridiculous. And some of the shots that they made, I mean, they spent. I wish it was just. I would have.
I'm just upset that they made The Legend of Hercules into try to push so much of a love story. Like, that's not what I imagined at all.
There wasn't even a love, to me at least.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It was pushed. Like, he just all of a sudden, he grows up 20 years later, and he's in love with this girl. He's gonna do anything for her, and of course.
Right.
Of course, somebody's going to come and take her away. His brother's going to marry her away. Like, you don't understand. Like, she's a princess, but why? Who are her parents? Like,
right.
It's just so much stuff you don't really understand.
You don't at all. I mean, I don't understand the scene where she, almost drowned, and she tried to jump in, and then all the guys came and tried to save her on the horses. It was kind of towards the beginning. I mean, I felt that was completely unnecessary too. I don't know. I'm not even really motivated to shoot this video because, I mean, what even sucks is my expectations were so low and I'm still angry. I mean, I wish I could just be sitting back, just smiling like, well, hey, it is what I expected. I didn't pay for this, and I'm still want my money back.
Yeah.
I don't know.
One more issue I had too. I felt the film was really dark as far as like the shadows and just the lighting. Like, it was just very. It was just the nighttime. It was just always, they were always like in the shadows.
True.
I didn't.
I'll give you that. It
just looked cheap to me.
It was some horrible camera angles. It was some scenes where the rain. They were trying to show rain. The rain looked so fake. You can tell that there was some type of device above the camera, just dropping the rain. There was no depth to it. It was just like one line. And I mean,
okay, with the lighting.
Basic filmmaking, I mean, you have a film degree, bro. I'm sure you can.
No, I'm about to say, like, as far as like when I was saying they look a little bit dark and the nighttime looked weird. It was obviously daytime, and they made it look nighttime, and it looked very, very.
Sorry, we had some technical difficulties there, but that's okay. But you was talking about how the bad lighting.
Yeah, I mean, it was just they shot it in the daytime, and it made it look like night with the filters or with the CG, and it looked horrible. Like it
did. I mean,
look natural at all.
The only CG shot that I did like was when they showed the giant arena. When
that was beautiful.
Yeah, when he was fighting the 6 warriors.
In the beginning.
Yeah. Well, that was kind of the middle. That was kind of
I'm saying the beginning sequence and then the Coliseum.
Oh, yeah, the Coliseum. I mean, it was CG. It was CG, or CGI, whatever. But that was shot pretty well. I mean, it looked CG, but it didn't. I mean, I thought that was done pretty well too. But those fights, every time somebody got hit, it was super duper slow mo. I mean, I don't know. It just didn't have any emotion, any depth, any feel to it. I feel the guy, he was just playing around. He was just experimenting with it. He probably ran out of time. He probably knew it was bad. Was like, well, damn, I can't go back. Or
Just
we
go ahead
gotta
and commit to it.
Yeah, go ahead and put it out. Put it out there. I mean, you could tell the movie is bad too when something like as big as the Legend of Hercules. You're possibly gonna have screenings. Very early. But today is Thursday. It was at 7:30. It's released tomorrow. If you go to Rotten Tomatoes right now, there are no reviews on it. You maybe get a couple of views here and there if you subscribe or you follow certain journalists or critics, etc. But I went in because of that. I kind of trained myself knowing it was gonna be bad. My expectations were low, and I was just still frustrated. I mean, this was a complete wasted opportunity. I just wish they would have tried a lot harder. I don't know. It had potential to be great.
Yeah,
but it just wasn't.
It really did have potential, and it didn't live up to it at all. It's sad. I mean, it's a Hercules franchise, and
Exactly.
and they spoiled it. They spoiled a great opportunity. I don't know if it was rushed or that the budget wasn't enough for what they were trying to do or what,
Right.
but it was.
So that's I mean, I don't even want to talk about it anymore. I mean, that's the month of January right there. If you don't know, January is pretty much the graveyard, month for movies. You never really want to release, movies in January. They're just not good. So far, we've have the Paranormal Activity, the Mark ones, which was trash. We have Her, that's going to be released tomorrow. That was good, but it was actually really released last year in 2013, so I don't want to count that. I saw Lone Survivor, which was good, and just, if you subscribe, go ahead. I post a video of that as well. And we have this mess, The Legend of Hercules, which is pretty bad. So I don't know. I mean, next week we have The Nut Job, and we got I, Frankenstein, which looks trashy too.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know. It's just I can't wait to just get me to March at least. I don't know. Goodness, I don't know. I'm just gonna go ahead and give my rating. I think I give it a 1 out of 10. That's what I give it. I give it that low. Even the 2 scenes of dialogue that was maybe 45 seconds in the movie, and then 2 shots of CG. I mean, that is it. I give it a 1.5. Because I like those scenes and that's it. I'll give it a 1.5. So out of 10, what do you give it?
I was actually gonna give it a 3.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I love the opening sequence. Some of the fight scenes are okay. I mean, I didn't really take offense that it was copied. That slow mo. The 3D was great. I love the 3D. I mean, I didn't really expect too much. I thought it would be brain dead entertainment, and it was brain dead entertainment.
It was.
So for what it was a 3 out of 10. I mean,
I just didn't care.
The story. Like, I was disappointed that it was just they tried to make so much of a love story, and you could tell the story itself could have been really great. But just the script didn't really work. The dialogue didn't work. The acting didn't really work. But
bad.
if you can watch this free on cable, Netflix, do it. But I wouldn't recommend going to see it.
Yeah, don't pay for this. Just don't. I mean, I hate to say that because people. I mean, this is someone's job. They make a living doing that. I don't know how long it took to shoot. I don't know how long it took in post-production, pre-production. You worked as hard. We go see it for 90 minutes and just rip it to shreds. But, I mean, I got to be honest. It just wasn't good at all. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I wouldn't pay for it. Definitely see it matinee price or the first, that 10 o'clock showings where it's $5 or $4.75. I don't know. Just... I don't recommend it, but I just want to end this video because the more I think about it, I'm getting upset. So, guys, thank you for tuning in. You can go ahead and click that subscribe button. This wasn't a good review or opinion, but there's more to come. So go ahead and click that subscribe button. If you've seen the movie, whether you disagree with us or agree with us, let us know in the comment section below because we would love to hear your opinion as well because you just heard ours. So, and give us that thumbs up or thumbs down. Just keep it respectful. Go ahead and subscribe. Share this video with the world because, we don't mind. And if you want to find me online, you can at Facebook at Brandon Keith Avery or Instagram and Twitter at Just My Opinion 84. And Malcolm, where can people find you on?
You can find me on Twitter at Malcolm2G, the number 2, the letter G. or Instagram MTOOG.
All right, so there you go, guys. About the fourth or fifth film this year. Got a long year to go. Hopefully, we can give some better opinions on better movies, but this one just isn't it. So, thank you again. Comment, subscribe, and before you go, don't forget that my name is B. Avery, and that's just my opinion. Peace.